And I'm a soft skills trainer and a communication trainer from Bangalore. We meet every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. online via Zoom, and we are also live on LinkedIn. Every episode brings a new speaker and a new leadership topic and an interactive segment, either live coaching or a quiz, because learning sticks when you experience it. We are active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Links are shared in the chat box. You'll also find our website and WhatsApp community link. Do stay connected and never miss an update. Now, let me ask you something. Most managers get promoted because they are excellent executors. They deliver, they solve problems, and they get things done. But at some point, execution only stops working. People don't respond the same way, teams wait instead of acting, and influence drops even though responsibility increases. That's why today's topic is so relevant. From execution to influence, the communication shift managers must make. Because leadership is not just about doing more work, it's about how you communicate so that others want to move with you. I now hand over the session to Ms. Archana.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deepa, for a beautiful introduction. And now let me introduce our speaker for today. Mr. Aditya is the Chief Marketing Officer and a board member at Naksha Builders, one of Mysore's fastest growing turnkey construction companies. With a strong academic foundation in commerce, sorry, apologies for that. So, with a strong academic foundation in commerce, HR, and CSR, and executive education from IIM Bangalore, Aditya brings a unique mix of business thinking, leadership experience, and communication driven growth. He has founded and scaled multiple ventures, worked with startups, NGOs, and corporates, and today leads marketing and strategy at Naksha Builders, a company that has completed 250 plus projects and crossed a valuation of 200 plus crores. We are excited to hear his leadership insights today. Welcome, Mr. Aditya. All the participants in the chat screen, please drop welcome, Mr. Aditya, to welcome our speaker for the day. Let me see some welcome, Mr. Aditya, in the chat box, please. Members, participants, what happened to everyone today? Everyone is in the holiday moods. Let me see. Welcome, Mr. Aditya. Please drop a welcome, Mr. Aditya, in the chat screen. Welcome, Aditya. Okay, thank you. All right, good. So now I'm getting some responses. Thank you so much and welcome to the talk show. Let me unmute you. I believe I'm not, yes.
Hi, Archana. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I think this has been quite some time since I got back into the training or the kind of a talk show model. Probably purely because I've been busy trying to build my business. So yeah, thank you so much. Great to have all the audience here today. Thank you so much. Your warm welcome is like really humbling, and it is really great on a Saturday morning that everybody is here trying to listen, trying to understand, get insights. So probably looking forward to having more discussions and more key insights to take away and learn from you as well. Archana, it's been quite some time since I met you and had a conversation as well. So yes, I think our journey goes way back when we met each other at TCS. So
Exactly.
yes, I think it's a great journey. So hoping to have more conversation, learn from you as well as learn from our audience.
Pleasure is all ours. Wonderful to have you here. And also, let me give a small introduction regarding our community. We meet every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it is not our first time from many of the participants here. They all have been knowing me. They all have been knowing me for many months. So it's a wonderful session which you are going to experience as well, Aditya. It's not
Yes,
just going
thank
to
you so
be
much.
our leadership your leadership insights, which is going to enlighten us, but you are also going to enjoy the session, and many of the speakers tell
Yes,
us that.
yes,
Okay, so
yes.
now let's
Excited.
start. Now let's
Yeah,
start ahead. So let me come ahead with the first question, which comes across to you. Many
yeah.
managers they continue to communicate like individual contributors, focused on tasks, speed delivery. So, why does this execution mindset often become the biggest barrier to influence as managers grow? Because quite often I've seen, in fact, this has come across to me even when I've gone for coaching. The people say, that is the top leaders, they say that there are many managers who are here. They joined as just interns with our company. And that time, their speaking, their way of behavior, their attitude was very much different. Now 10 years are over, their performance has improved, of course, and because of that we have given them the promotion as well. Now they are the managers, the senior managers, but their way of speaking is very much the same. Can you do something regarding it, is the question which comes across to us. So now I'm
Okay.
re-putting that
So,
question in front of you as well, as to why this kind of an execution mindset, it becomes the biggest barrier for them.
yeah. So, going back on my entire journey with a lot of corporates and currently trying to build my business, I think even we make that mistake on a day-to-day basis, right? I think every organization has a tendency to make their best performer a manager. So you just told me that you people join us as interns and they scale the corporate ladder and they become something really really important to the organization. And organization's way of appreciating them is basically making them managers, right? The biggest challenge that I have seen in them becoming managers is they still work. See, they don't know how to manage. They know how to execute, right? So probably the thing that I see, on a regular basis is for them to have the leadership mindset. They probably need a lot of exposure. And see, let me go back to saying what execution actually does. Excuse me. Execution is all about just like the directive, the control, and most importantly, people want the outcome, right? Leadership is all about facilitating that outcome. Now, the biggest challenge is every manager is accountable for his responsibility, his key guidelines, his targets, his. So, under that pressure, what happens is they only focus on the path, they only focus on the compliances, they only focus on the statutory requirements, they only focus on what the end result is. And they put that, see, probably they'll just focus on the KPIs, the KRAs, and just they just want to see that the goal is achieved. But if you ask me, probably even we did that mistake while we are building Naksha. Right now, Naksha is close to 200 employees, and I'm not saying that we are perfect, but we are also learning this the hard way. So what we have started doing is we have started teaching a lot of aspects. See, we promoted. The story goes right. So we had an intern who currently, after 6 years of his journey with us, he's heading a entire business vertical, and he takes it so personal that he does not a leader. He says, if nobody's willing to do the work, he himself does it. So probably I really feel that leadership is all about to create that influence, right? You have to facilitate it. So facilitation hacks in a couple of manners, right? I have a small few points that I think we should discuss on, right? So there are a couple of things, right? So one is directing, right? So one, as a manager, you end up directing, right? Instead of directing, you have to facilitate, give them the key aspects of what they're supposed to focus on. Then they should be in a position to facilitate. So facilitation is, you see, I think both of us have been in training for quite some time, right? So we facilitate the training. We don't teach. We get them to do the activity. So I
Correct.
think we have to facilitate and give them the opportunities and give them the framework as to how they're supposed to do things. And I think majority of the managers are in the position of giving answers than asking questions. I really feel if they start asking questions to their team members, right, I think they'll see a lot of better shift in terms of influence. I think they'll become better contributors, even as managers, as even as the team players working in. And last but not the least, I purely believe that when there is direction, there'll be less ownership. So if somebody is giving you the directions, you will not take ownership. You will say, okay, he's telling, let me do
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Correct? He'll just say, what he's saying, I have to just do it. He's hired me for just giving me directions, not giving me, ownership. So
Ownership,
ownership plays an
responsibility.
important role as far as I'm concerned. So I really think the three aspects is facilitation, giving them ownership, and also giving them the basic, key insights to asking questions, than giving them directions. So I think these three would give that kind of a shift to help a manager become an influencer. Because when you ask questions, I think the right answers come out.
Wow, this is in fact coming not just from you, but this is probably a repeated stuff which is coming across from many of the speakers. Ask questions, learn from them rather than speaking, speaking, speaking. In fact, even in our last session, the speaker just told the same. That is, we were having a discussion on how to handle difficult conversations. So at that time, a conversation came such as he said, ask questions, know regarding them, speak to them, and that is the same thing which I'm coming from you as well. And I would reply the same thing: 2 ears, one mouth. Listen more, speak less. And that is
Yes,
very
yes.
much the same. Thank you so much for this beautiful insight. And just like how
Yeah.
you said right now, ask them things and listen to them more. My next question is very much in line with this, Mr. Aditya. So we
Yeah.
often say that influence it comes from speaking well. We have to show that we do this, we do that, I'm like this, etc., like that. We often think in this manner, but let's look at it in the other manner. In your experience, how does listening differently change the way a manager is perceived and followed by the team? Does he have to change the way that he listens also, or what does he have to listen
Uh, I think it's a very interesting point that you brought. I call it a paradoxical scenario, basically. See, probably every leader or every manager no faces this challenge. They want to defend their position. I think we also do that, right? So when there's a mistake or when there's a challenge that arises,
for?
we go into defending our team, we go into defending ourselves, we go into defending our position, right? But I really think that listening is a key thing, and it's very tough for a lot of people, especially for people being in the business. It's very, very, very difficult for them to be great listeners. I was not a great listener, so I had to put a lot of time and effort to learn how to be a great listener.
Correct.
And I think one of the key mistakes that I did in my initial days was people would ask me a lot of the whenever they would sit and have a conversation with me, I
Mhm.
would in my mind I would sit and figure out the answer to give than listen to them actually.
So true.
I think this happens to everybody, right? So when somebody's telling something, you're forming an answer in your head, and
Correct.
that answer you are answering from a defense mechanism. You don't listen completely in depth. So probably I think that happens in not only jobs, in relationships, in friendships. It happens everywhere, right? So whenever somebody's speaking, the first thing that we do is form an answer in our head.
What should I answer next?
Unless it's a seminar like this, they have to listen to me.
Oh God,
Yeah,
answer.
the audience is listening to me. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I think whenever we all have a tendency to protect our defense, it's a defense mechanism. I don't say no, but I think we have to put active uh, interest, and you have to take a lot of intent in terms of listening to what the other person has to say. Because trust me, when you listen, I think you will find a way to facilitate. Going back to the previous question, right? We spoke about facilitating. So I'm pretty sure when they speak, and when you tell them, this is the objective and this is what we are trying to look at, and not go behind them and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why didn't you tell me? And all of this. I think they feel constrained and there's no ownership. There's only direction.
That's no ownership.
So I truly believe that listening unbiased. I would call it unbiased, right? So just I had a word in mind. I'm just trying to figure that out, right? So I had this quote that I believe, right? Real influence comes from listening with genuine intent to understand. This is what I truly believe that an organization will thrive. And what happens is when you listen, right, it builds trust from the other person. The other person will believe, okay, yeah, this person is truly listening. He's not listening just to give an answer, he's listening to understand. And I think first, I think we should, I'll give a key secret of what I do right now. I think it'll work as a tip for everybody. When
Please,
somebody's
that would be
speaking,
wonderful.
listen to them till the end, then take a 10-second pause and then answer back. Trust me, it's going to build a lot of trust. It's going to build a lot of thought process, and they're going to listen to you because they've vented out what they wanted to speak. Listen to them till the T, and then from there you start picking up. And I think this worked for me. It may work for everybody as well. See, let everybody vent out and complete what they wanted to say. Take a 10-second pause and then speak back. I think this worked for me. Probably it'll work for everybody else in the audience. And one request that I know it's going to be very hard because of the way we've been brought up is we look at to defend our position, we look at to defend our team members, ourselves, our organization, and whatever it is. I think truly, if we are able to listen, I think 50% of the game is done there. I think Archana and I totally agree that the communication forms listening and speaking, right? But listening is 70%, speaking is 30%. I think that's what we believe in when we train
Correct.
our peers as well as our
Exactly.
organization strength. So I think that gives you a good understanding of how listening is a paradox, right? So
Hmm.
people who listen are majority of the times. I truly believe the people who are great listeners are introverts,
Hmm.
not the extroverts. But it's extroverts who
Like
have to learn how to listen, right? And it's the introverts who have to learn how to speak. So this is a total extreme. And they're outliers, right? So I think there is strength and there's weakness, but we have to put conscious effort to listen. And that takes a trust me, it took a toll on me because I'm an extrovert and I run a business. I would never let anybody speak like how I'm doing it right now. I'm not allowing you to speak as well. Yeah. So
yeah,
this
I've
is this
seen you
is
in
this is where
person. I
it is,
can tell
right?
that.
So I really believe that try this mechanism. It's a tip. It's a hack. It's worked for me. That you wait for 10 seconds after they've spoken, and then when you speak, trust me, the commitment builds, the trust builds, the intelligence builds. Everything is on par.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Aditya. All the participants, if you are with us, type listen if you feel that listening is the one which builds influence, and type speak if you think that speaking matters more. Listen or speak. Which one do you say suggests matters more? Sorry for my voice. I'm having a bad cough today. All the participants, let's see if you say listening or is it speaking, which one matters more? Listening or speaking? Everybody is in a very sleeping mood today.
Yeah, yeah. Saturday special, no?
No, not
Listening
Saturday.
and
It's a
thinking.
year-end special. Slowly and slowly, people have really
Uh,
become so
I,
silent
I,
in this group.
I actually like what Akila's put up as a comment. She said listening and thinking. Probably, I would like to add one more key point to Akila and everybody else. I think curiosity also plays a role. If you go into a conversation as a curious cat, trust me, it is really interesting. It's really, it builds stimulation and it makes you think. So I think curiosity is one key aspect of listening as well. I think I didn't speak about that, but probably, when she put listening and thinking, I realized curiosity is also one of the key aspects.
Here's to this, just like to an extension to that. You said curiosity. So it's a proverb which people would be knowing, but they would be knowing only half of it. Many say that
Yeah,
curiosity um, kills a cat. They say it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the
But
full
but I think
proverb is actually curiosity kills a cat, but satisfaction brings it back. So if you're
yeah.
curious, you keep coming back to it again and again until and unless you get an answer. That's the complete proverb, but people know only half of it.
Probably, yeah. No, no. I
And
believe
your
that this.
response right now actually completes that.
Yeah, so I purely believe that that is selective reading, not selective hearing. I think that's selective reading that we do. We don't get the complete information of what is there. And I
Hmm.
would recommend this book to anybody who loves speaking, which is who'd love to understand how perspectives are built. It's called Fooled by Randomness. I would recommend this book to everybody. If you get a chance, please read it
Sorry,
because
can you please
how
tell the name again? If you
it's
could type
called
it in the
Fooled by
chat box.
Randomness. It's called Fooled by Randomness. I just started reading that book. It's giving me a lot
Okay.
of insights, a lot of perspectives, how people think, how we are fooled by general randomness, right? So I'll just give you an example.
I put in
Uh,
the chat screen, is that
yes,
correct?
yes, yes. So that book is really nice. Uh, Akila has responded true, and when we think, we shouldn't think what to answer immediately, but try to
Yeah,
think
we
what the
had the
person is
discussion
saying.
at the initial. Maybe
Yes, yes,
Akila
yes,
joined
yes.
late with us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So fooled by randomness. So I'll just give you an example. This book is so nice where, there are a lot of people on the. I'm not saying that this is true, right? So I'm just saying what the book says in a subtle manner, using a example for this. So again, all of you are free to correct me if I'm wrong. So the book says, just because a person has like 1,000 likes on their Instagram page doesn't mean that they're having a great life. You're fooled by randomness. You're fooled by the thought process that they are living a great life. That you see, all of us have a tendency to compare. But in reality, I will show you one person whom I know who has probably, when he puts up a photo, gets like 5 or 6 likes. That's it. But is happy with his kids, is probably one of Mysore's biggest people in terms of money and in terms of position. He has a lot of cars. He doesn't post about his glorious life, nothing. All he does is live in silence, and he believes luxury is in silence. like luxury and privileges in silence. So a lot of people get fooled by randomness. They say, okay, this guy's gone to Bali, but what you will really not know is there might be 100 people calling him for a loan and saying, you owe money, right? You're in Bali, come back, we have to pay. So you don't know the real story. So I think we are fooled by randomness on a lot of levels to understand, that we think what it is, whatever we see is true or whatever we hear is true. We don't. I think one
But
key
when
skill that
we
every manager should
get into the
do is,
deeper of it.
yeah, yeah, and read between the lines. I would call this read between the lines, because being managers, we have a tendency to, propagate what our higher ups tell us, and we do the same thing with our peers. So we become a medium and a channel to explain that. So when you listen, so I go back to the process of listening, right? When you listen, you will start reading between the lines. You will understand if what they're genuinely saying is true or it's concerning. That's when you have to reiterate, reposition it, and then tell it to your team. You can't tell everything. You just because your senior manager yells at you, you can't go and tell it to your peer and say, you know what, because of you, this happened, this happened, this happened. Doesn't work that way.
That's true. So now coming back to thank you for this beautiful insights, listening, and I would really love to check out this book as well. It's Fooled by Randomness. I'll check it
Yeah,
out as well.
fooled by
I
randomness.
love
I
being
think
an
you'll love
allies.
reading this. I know. I think you'll love reading this. I think one session, I'm pretty sure that after reading that book, you'll say, you know what, Aditya, thank you for this book. One session is going to be fooled by randomness itself. That you'll create one session.
I'll
I
do that.
have
I'll do
high,
that for sure.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now coming back to another question, and this is entirely from the organizational point of view. Okay.
Okay.
So influence, it becomes, it's more or less okay, fine, we can practice it and somehow we can start employing it in our teams. But imagine that we have to influence the other teams, okay, in
Your cross-functional
organizations,
teams.
it
You're
becomes
speaking about
much.
cross-functional teams.
Yes, exactly. Cross functional teams, the vendors, the partners, when we have to influence them, it becomes harder. So, how can managers communicate effectively when they have no formal authority?
Okay. So that's a tricky question. Okay. Uh, when you're
And
working
that is
with
why it found
cross-functional
our place
teams,
today here
uh,
in
yeah, yeah.
conflict.
So when you're working with cross-functional teams, I think I had the opportunity to work with a lot of corporates who are with cross-functional teams, and I really understood that everybody has an ego there, right? Because when you step into their domain, which is not your domain in itself, they have a tendency to protect, they have a tendency to defend, they have a tendency to say, okay, who is this guy trying to, call the shots? And there I really think when we are working with cross-functional teams, we have a tendency to, uh, how do I say, we have a tendency to show our ego, show our achievements, and say, you know what, than keeping the
I
goal
know.
in mind, we have a tendency to say, you know what, boss, I have done this 100 times. I've just come over from a different team. You don't know. So I think it will take a lot of time for people to, work around these aspects. Uh, but I found an initial secret. Would you want me to share it with everybody?
That would be wonderful.
I'll share it only if everybody responds on the box and says, okay, share the secret. So
Okay,
I want
type the
everybody
chat
to put
screen,
share the
share the
secret.
secret.
Share the secret.
Let's see in the chat screen. Let's see it. Okay, share. Ramesh is the first one to say. Okay. Others, what happened? Okay, Akila also says share. Cool.
Okay. So can I start? Do I have a go ahead from everybody? Can I start?
Proving to be
Yeah.
an extrovert here, please.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So first key thing that I realized from working with cross-functional teams and corporates is I think we have to establish the clarity of purpose. I think it's very nice if I sit and have a conversation with Archana and say, "Hi, Archana, my name is Aditya. I'm from the HR department. You're from the procurement department. The reason I'm involving today is because of this reason, and it's not to overline." I think having a honest communication and having clarity about what the purpose is and why you're involved will break 25 or 30% of the barrier for them to understand why you're actually involved.
Correct.
And
State the
you have to be
intention.
involved because, yeah, so set the intention right. So we do this in our trainings. We call this expectation setting. We have a
Correct.
setting where we
Objective
discuss
setting.
what is
We
the
had that
objective,
in.
or why are we here, what is there, and all of that, right? And then most importantly, see, I think one person, I go back to the first question when I spoke, right? Everybody, whoever is in a cross-functional team, have a tendency to direct. They want to be in the position of directing and controlling. But I really think if we just shift our mindset with one key aspect, what is that one key aspect? Can I tell you what that one key aspect is? It's
We are
called
waiting
asking
from a
questions.
long time. So it's called the
It's called asking questions.
Okay.
So I'll just give an example, right? So we were recently conducting an expo, and everybody, there were multiple teams involved in terms of setting up the stall and the expo. There were multiple teams coming in and doing the work. And I think even we made that mistake of trying to be directors. There should be only one director, that should be Rajamouli. I don't think anybody else can pull off being a great director. But when I speak, right, I think it's better as a team if I ask you, why are we doing this? What is the objective of this? Why are you doing it like this? Why have you chosen this color for the stall? I think asking questions will give more direction than just being a control freak, or being authoritative in saying, okay, you know what, I want this to be done, though you're from a different department. You don't know the challenges that the department has. You don't know the challenges that they have with their bosses. So my key aspect was to ask them questions to say, why have you chosen this? What is the reason behind this? Help me understand. I think I would use words like, help me understand how can we achieve this together. Help me understand why this is actually happening. See, this is my opinion and this is my recommendation. What do you have in mind? I think having a subtle conversation like that, asking questions and probably understanding clarity of purpose, and then, you can also, because you come from a cross-functional team, you can also speak about, we call this theory of constraints. Okay, you know what theory of constraints is? You speak about what challenges you are facing. You can say, you know what, I am been put across into this department for this challenge, right? And the company feels that I can deliver it. Now I cannot do it without you guys. So when you make this statement, you're putting them on a pedestal. At the same time, right, you're getting your work done. And last but not the least, the psychological factor, where people get scared when somebody new enters the department because there's resistance to change. They're scared that somebody else is going to take away their job, throw them out of the limelight. And I really think that will go once you have a heart to heart conversation with your manager and say, you know what, I need to understand why this person has been placed in this position. Okay. And I really think, see, there are so many times that a lateral comes in. We face this as trainers all the time, when we go into a corporate trying to train. I think the first resistance that they bring is, what is this guy going to tell us that we already don't know? I think everybody goes with this, right? So
True.
uh, I think that is the reason we have the icebreaker session, to set the tone, help them understand why we are there, what are we trying to do there. We tell them that we are trying to be facilitators in the process. So I really believe that, these four key aspects, probably asking questions, than being controlling, or having a open-ended conversation to have clarity of purpose and the objective. I think if you're able to do these two things, you will work great in a cross-functional team, and you'll win over them every time. So I started using this in one of my corporates, and I really think I made a lot of friends also. Today, if I decide I want to go out elsewhere to work, I think they're the people who will recommend me first. So I'm not saying that you should become chuddy buddies or become great friends with them, but this will help you break that barrier. Everybody has the defense mechanism or the barrier. So when you ask them questions in a humbling manner, when you speak to them with a lot of clarity, when you tell them why you have been put there, what was the objective of your managers to be putting you there. So I think they will also understand that, right? Because even they are report to some manager. So I think you both can bond over that part. And that's where the cross-functional team becomes more effective.
That's true. Just like how you said that new managers, sorry, new people, when they're coming in, there's lots of resistance. That's absolutely correct. And let me look at it in one manner also. So especially when managers are coming into a team and they are the first time who are leading a team, or people who have been into this from a long time. Certain
Mhm.
managers, they have a habit of micromanaging. They feel that
Yeah.
only if they're controlling anything and everything do things happen right. Okay. So how can they set the expectations clear in this manner? Because it is now a little bit contradictory. Yes, one is we are setting the expectations clear. At the same time, the manager is a very controlling person. How can he handle such kind of situation? How can he communicate it clearly?
So I have to tell you something honest here. I am a micromanager actually. You can ask anybody in my organization. I have the
Oh my
tendency to
goodness.
micromanage, right? So I'm being really honest, right? And
Hmm.
in my initial days of Naksha, we have the tendency to control. See, for us, control makes a very important thing, because what you work so hard for might get away from you, right? So I'll just
Hmm.
give you an example. Archana, you've built confidence coming so hard, right? Now, you will not take any steps which can take a step back or lose
Correct.
control over what you've built. So
Mm-hmm.
I think managers have a tendency to micromanage. Even there are times that even I micromanage today, and I think I have great partners, my friends, my business partners, who tell me, I think you're getting into too much micromanaging. I think they act as my red flags and say, you are micromanaging. Or whenever I'm in a what do I say, question marks. I think my spouse does a
They are
great
the
job,
spell
and she
breakers.
says she says, I think you're trying to micromanage too much around the house as well. So I'll tell you how I came over it, because I don't want to be the person to tell you that I'm perfectly and I'm out of it. I still do micromanage, but probably the percentage is around 20 to 30%, right? I'll tell you what I did in terms of overcoming my micromanagement ability. First thing that I started doing was, uh, I used to tell what I used to tell what processes I want, right? I used to tell, this is how we do it, this is the procedure, this is A to B, B to C, C to D, and all of that. And I think that's where we end up micro managing a lot, because we do A to B, B to C, C to D, and we want it to go in that way because that's worked for us. But I really started doing one thing. I started telling, guys, this is the outcome that I want. I just started speaking about the outcome. I shifted from process to outcome. And I think that outcome, communicating the outcome, gave me, see, I just told them that this is the outcome, and it has to be with these certain aspects. I am not interested in the process anymore, because I think that gives them the freedom to figure it out themselves. I don't think anybody likes being spoon fed throughout their life. So I really think, giving them the clarity on the outcome that you desire is one of the ways from micromanagement processing to, going into giving great outcome. And I think, see, one of the reasons when we say outcome, I don't think anybody clearly says why that outcome is mandatory, why it is required. See, I'll just tell you, I told my sales team that I need to have 100 crores in terms of revenue. Okay, the outcome is set, but why do we need that? What is the objective? What is the company's goal? Why? See, I think it's really important that you tell them the why and then the outcome, because they'll also start resonating with it. The biggest
Mm-hmm.
mistake all of us do is we don't want to tell them the why. We don't want to tell
Mm-hmm.
them the outcome.
Correct.
We just want to say, okay, this is
Do
what you're
this,
supposed to
end
do.
of story.
A, B, C, D. Everything is defined.
Mm.
And there's this great book called Start with Why by Simon Sinek. There's the golden triangle that I think really you guys have to read. Okay.
Sorry, can you please tell this name also? I'll
It's,
put
it's,
it in
it's
the
called
chat.
Start with Why. It
Start
speaks with
with
Start with
why.
Why. If you're okay and if you have the time, I'll play that video on. Or if you can share the screen, or you can
I,
just go on YouTube and play that video.
is it start with
Archana.
why or vibe?
Start with Why.
Okay, Akhila.
Okay, it's Start with Why by Simon Sinek. Okay, there's a beautiful 30-second, probably a 3-minute video. If you have the opportunity to play, I would request that you can play that. Can you, open YouTube
Aditya,
and
I'm
type?
so sorry. We're kind of running short in time,
Okay,
but I would
okay.
love to
So
send it later as a reminder because what I
yeah,
usually do is
yeah.
once,
So
yeah, if you
uh,
can send it to
yeah.
me via WhatsApp, I'll
Yes,
send it across the call.
I'll send you the video, because that video will be an eye opener as to why, and that's the secret of why great companies grow, right? How Apple, how Microsoft, and all these companies actually they speak about the why. They speak about why that is necessary. What is the reason behind that the company is trying to achieve it? So the why, and most importantly, that I would like to say is, define the outcome. And the last two key points that I generally think is, okay. I set boundaries, right? So I just give them the outcome, I tell them the why, and then I set the boundaries. Boundary is, let's say I tell today I need 100 crores in sales. I'm not going to go back to him tomorrow morning and say, what did you do about it? Again, day after tomorrow morning, what did you do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Again, day after tomorrow morning, what did you do about it?
Mm-hmm.
I give them the outcome, I give them the target, I give them the why. And most importantly, what I end up doing is I say, when can I get an update on this? Can I
Okay.
check back with you
Putting the
on, let's say, next
ownership
week?
onto them.
Give the ownership onto them. Now, what happens is you end up micromanaging when you go behind them.
Mm.
They'll also feel like, Arey, yaar, what is this guy? This guy's always like a leech clinging on to me. He's trying to get all the outcomes probably. So I think giving them the freedom of space for them to figure it out also plays an important role. So I
Correct.
think these three key aspects should help you from becoming, uh,
Micromanager.
micromanager. And one more thing, probably I think everybody asks. why are you doing this? I think that's a straightforward question that everybody asks. Why are you doing this? I
Hmm.
think instead of that, I think we have to learn to rephrase our words and ask, what is the thinking behind this? I
What's the
think when you
thought
ask a
process
team, what is
behind
the,
it? That's
yeah,
beautiful.
what's the thought process behind it? So I think they'll open up better to give you more insights of why they are
Correct.
thinking and what they are thinking than
Correct.
asking why you're doing like this, right? So
Correct.
that's a straightforward, straight shot. I don't think people love straight shot things today. Uh, if you ask me, I'll be more than happy to explain it to you, but I don't think everybody will take it in that way in terms of accepting it in the way that they want. So I think today also I still do micromanage, but probably that's 25 to 30%. I know I can promise you that any leader on this planet cannot be out of micromanagement 100%. I have 25 to 30%. Probably that's I'm still working on it. Probably over the next few years, I will reduce it by another 5 or 6%. So you can never stop micromanaging. And please remove it from your mindset that you're micromanaging every day. I always look at a progressive inclination, look at 1%, progress, right? So today you just gave a free hand for him to take a decision. That's it. That you've tried your experiment.
Hmm.
And I've learned this the hard way because I've run this company for the last 7, 8 years, building it to 200 employees. I think I've learned it the hard way to figure out how I'm supposed to do things, which is tell them the outcome, tell them the why, and give them the opportunity to set boundaries. And last but not the least, ask them their thinking. These are the 3 or 4 aspects that I look at when I think of micromanaging. And again, when I say it's not wrong to micromanage because you want to be in control of the narrative, but I would say set these 4 parameters whenever you have a conversation with your team or manager. Have these 4 conversations: the why, the outcome, okay, the timeline, or when you want to check back on them, and what is their thinking for their decision making. I think these are 4 things that will hands-on give you an extra edge to elevate yourself as a business leader, as an influencer, and as an owner if you want to scale your business as well.
That's nice. Thank you so much for your beautiful insights, Mr. Aditya. It's wonderful. We would love to have you back in probably the upcoming sessions as well. It's going to be a
Yes,
wonderful.
yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
I can also see that you're very much looking forward for it as well.
Yeah,
But
definitely,
unfortunately,
definitely.
with the time constraint, we have just 15
Yes.
minutes more, and we have to go for an important session right now, which is the live coaching session, the live training
Yes.
session. So whatever we learn, whatever we have spoken right now, there is no point of just listening to it when we have not actually applied it. And that is exactly what we are
Yes.
going to do right now. So,
Yeah.
participants, please be aware we are going for live coaching segment. Please type ready in the chat box if you're ready for it. It is going to be a quiz scenario. I'm going to give you 4 to 5 questions. Please type ready in the chat box and I'll start with my questions. Type ready. Let me see if you all are ready. Please type ready. Please type ready. Let me see in the chat box. As I mentioned today. Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Ravesh is the first one to say. Yes, I thank you. Yes, that's sorted. Okay, so here is the first question which comes across to you. Your team resists a new approach, saying the question is going to be in the chat box. Approach saying this will not work. What is the most influential response that you can take? A, push harder using authority. B, explain logic in detail. C, ask questions and listen to concerns. Or fourth, escalate immediately. What do you think is going to be the correct one? Push harder using authority. Okay, Ramesh says C. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So this is something nice. I'm waiting for some more responses from the people. Okay, so your team resists a new approach, saying this won't work. What is the most influential response? Push harder, explain logic. I've got only one response till now from Mr. Ramesh. What about the others? What about the others? So as I said, today everybody is in the sleeping mode. Otherwise, I usually get lots and lots of responses. Okay, so yes, Mr. Ramesh, thank you so much. Ask questions and listen to concerns is the correct, but I'm happy that you did not go for the B option here. That is explain logic again in detail. Because yes, of course, if they wanted to listen, they would have heard it the first time as well. However, the best one would be ask questions, listen to more, and that is exactly what we were speaking regarding right now. I hope it's fine, Aditya. Are you not? Okay, okay, you would have unmuted yourself. 1 minute. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, now you can speak.
Come again? I there was a disconnection. Can you please
Okay,
run
sure.
it through?
I
Yeah.
just said that it is fine. It is the correct response which Mr. Ramesh has given. That is ask questions and listen to concerns. I hope it's fine.
Totally, but see, I totally buy. I think there are scenarios where there are all the four things are used at any given point in time, actually. Because see, I'll just give you an example. We are trying to integrate and we currently are comfortable in our organization using Excel sheets and Google Drives, and we are trying really hard to update our team to an ERP. So there are times that they don't adapt. So I think there have been times that we have tried doing A, B, C, and D, all four specifically, not in the same order, but in different orders to get what needs to work for the organization. And this, I think, resists a new approach saying that this won't work. Probably could be case to case scenario, but the most generalistic answer is C. Ask questions and listen to concerns. I think that hands down gives you the best solution at any given point in time. And I think C and B both go in hand in glove, which is explain
Hand in
logic
hand.
in
Correct.
detail. Yeah, I think
If
logic
C is
also plays
not
an
there, we would
important
go
role.
for B. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
yeah.
since C is here,
So
we'll go
it's
for B.
I think it both goes hand in glove for some reason. Yeah. So yeah.
Correct. Okay, so now here comes the next question. Your team
Mhm.
waits for your approval on every small decision. What communication shift is required? So here's the chat question which comes across to you. A, you respond faster. B, you take back control. You C, you set clear decision boundaries. Or D, you escalate mistakes. Which one is the
Uh,
best one?
do I have to answer?
No, please, Aditya. Okay, Ramesh
I,
says
I,
set
I
clear
think
decision.
Mr. Ramesh is one of the most active participants. Thank you so much for responding in time. Means a lot, Mr. Ramesh.
Thank you so much. And so, yes, exactly. It is set clear decision boundaries. That is what, in fact, previously also we had discussed. That is, you set your objectives right, you set your intentions right. So once that is done, and then we go ahead with the communication, it is going to fall in the right
See,
gears.
what I would also like to add is, see, every small decision generally happens when there is no vision set. So if you know what is the objective, like I said, if you tell them the why and the outcome, I don't think there'll be any waiting for the team to even run around, figure it out, and all of that. I think they'll do it by themselves. And set clear decision boundaries. Yes, that's totally there. But I think you really need to work on putting a framework in space, a framework where people understand this is what I'm authorized to do, this is what I have to check with, this is what is should be the outcome. I think you should define that clearly with your team, and that is what will give you a better solution driving authority. And the team will also love working with you. It's a win-win for everybody.
Correct. Right. Now, thank you so much, Aditya. So now coming to the third question, a peer team does not cooperate because you're not their reporting manager. What helps most in such a scenario? Escalation or authority tone, relationship based communication, or ignoring them? I can see a smile on Mr. Aditya's face every time a question comes in because it's like, oh, I
I
spoke
just
regarding
spoke
this.
about the same thing.
You just spoke regarding this. Exactly. That's why I said you're going to enjoy the talk show. It's not going to be
Yeah,
just you and me talking, speaking. It's going to
yeah,
be a live coaching scenario wherein everybody
yeah,
gets to interact as well.
yeah.
A peer team doesn't cooperate because you're not the reporting manager. What helps most? Exactly. Relationship based communication. You speak to them, you get to know them, you ask them questions. Everything it happens as a relationship based communication. However, most of the times, what people end up doing is that, okay, he's not reporting to me. He'll be hearing only if the manager speaks. Let me go and tell the manager, hey, Mr. Manager, ABC is in my meeting. I have informed him, but he's not doing it. Can you please tell it to him? He will do it better. In such a kind of a scenario, what happens is that the leader who has said this, he loses his authority. His main intention right now is to a completion of task, but indirectly what he has done is he's lost his authority. Thank you so much for that. Okay, yes, exactly. You're right in this relationship based communication. And now let me go for one last question. By the way, all the participants who are here, let me tell you this that you have to turn on your video towards the end of the session because you have to take a pic as well. We will be taking a group pic, so at that time, please do turn on the video. So here's the last question which comes across to you. You need to correct a senior team member's behavior. Very difficult. What builds influence? Public feedback, avoiding the topic, private, respectful clarity, or email escalation? Private, respectful clarity. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, I will talk separately and then the decision can be taken for sure. Give me just 1 second, please. Give me just 1 minute. I'll be back in the show. Yeah, I'm back in the show. Sorry. Yes. So here is the question: private, respectful clarity. Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Ramesh. So now moving forward, uh, if any participant has any question or clarification, we are going to unmute you. Please raise your hands and so that we can give you the freedom to unmute the screen. Unmute the mic, sorry. Any participant who has any question? So we have Ujjwala, we have Sridevi, we have Ramesh, we have Deepak. Yes. So towards the end, slowly and slowly, everybody has walked away. Anyone who has any questions? Good. All right. So we'll go ahead with it. And now, yes, now I would like to invite. Sorry, Aditya, you raised your hands. You have a question, do you?
I'm not able to speak. Yeah.
Yes.
I do have a question, but I think Archana, I think you can help me on that. I think what now that you've been asking me questions, I want to ask you one question, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I think Mr. Ramesh has sent a question in WhatsApp. Can we
Yeah, yeah,
take
yeah.
that because I think he's one of our best participants today. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, yeah. His question is some leaders will listen, but with they have predefined answer. That time listening will be pure dramatic. Okay. I can understand. They have a predefined answer. So need answer for this. Some
Uh,
leaders will listen, um but because they have a predefined answer already in their mind.
so,
That time
so
listening is pure dramatic.
yeah, so I really think that happens to all of us. You know, probably because those leaders have certain set things in their mind and they have a greater vision in space. I think they have the tendency to, they have everything answered. They have all the answers ready. Even before you ask the question, they have a smile on their face and they're like, okay, I know you're going to ask this question. Let me answer it out for you. But probably that depends on what kind of a leader that person is. If he's the person who is heading the entire organization, I really think that you should trust him because he sees not only us, he sees all the departments. Now, if it's your senior level manager, I really think having a conversation with him, trying to make him understand. Your question was to give him private clarity, ask him why, why it is what it is. I think that on multiple occasions should give you the breakthrough because certain leaders are very, adamant on what they want, and it's very difficult for you to break it. But all you can do is try. I am not going to tell you that I have a secret strategy. All you can do is figure out who they are, what they do, what they think, and how can you, probably the thing that has worked best for me is to wait for them to be in a good mood and then tell probably slip it in. Not when they're angry or they're frustrated about some results or something of that sort. So I don't really think you should when they're adamant, I don't think it's worth putting your effort, and you should let it run its course. And if it takes a hit, that's when you can say, I tried bringing this point up to you, and it didn't work out. So I have a different strategy to come out of what we are. I'm not saying pinpoint and say what he did was wrong, but I had the strategy in space. I think it will help us now at least. I think that is where you can wait.
Right. Thank you so much. Yes, having a strategies, having so many thoughts, having
And
so many insights,
identifying when your boss is in a good mood.
identify when you. So we have done this in our childhood. Whenever we had to take a sign on the report card, for which we did not
Yeah.
have good score. We would identify the score of our mood of our parents, and according to that we would go
Yes,
and take the
yes, yes,
signature.
yes.
So now it
Yes,
doesn't end with our schools and colleges, it comes into our corporates as well for different scenarios.
I think that comes into even your friendships and relationships also. You know, you have to ask at the right time and the right moment for you to
That's
get it.
true. That's true. The
Yeah,
way we put it across is probably funny, but it's a real
yeah,
thought. We have to look at
yeah.
the mood of the other person and we have to put it
Yes,
across like
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Correct. It's not just
Never make a strategy move when the other person is sick and there's, with a very bad headache or whatever you tell them will go above their head. I learned this the hard way because, there are times that when my team has tried telling me and it's gone over my head, I'm like, I'm not even in the frame of mind to listen. So yeah, I think mood really plays a role.
That's true. So, all the participants, please be aware that a few minutes down the lane, we would be asking you to turn on the video. Now, I would request Mr. Ramesh to please give his vote of thanks if he's available. Yes,
Oh,
Ramesh, if you could turn on the video as well.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Archana, for the handover. My name is Ramesh from Chennai. I am working as a senior manager at Accurate Sales and Services. It was really a beautiful and insight session. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And now, for all the participants, here is an important announcement. We are excited to share that we are launching another version of Confidence Communic Talk Show exclusively for HR professionals starting from January 2026. Confidence Communic HR series for the young leaders. This series will focus on HR and workplace communication challenges, discussed with the same depth, practically, and confidence building approach you experience here. Archana will share the poster and registration link in the chat. Also, the links to our various social medias are shared in the chat box. Kindly like, follow, subscribe, or join. Now, before we close, a heartfelt thank you, Mr. Aditya AA. I am really charged because you are triple A for sharing such grounded and practical leadership insight today. Your
Oh,
journey
that's
from
nice.
execution to influence truly reflects what modern leadership communication looks like. Thank you, everyone. Please follow us LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a confident influence week ahead. Happy.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you for
Thank you.
that
Thank
lovely word of thanks and recognizing my contribution. So, Archana, I really am grateful for having this opportunity to share my insights. I don't know if it has really helped anybody here, but
It has
if it
very
has,
much
please
helpful.
please share something that you've adopted into your organization or your team, and I'm really grateful to see if it has helped you.
Yes, as a follow-up session, you can come in the upcoming sessions and then you can check if we have
Yes,
applied it in
yes,
our.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Okay, so all the participants, if you could please turn on a video so that we can take a quick break, please. Okay, thank you so much, Ujjwala. What about the others, Deepak and Sridevi? So since we have
Archana,
come to an
Ujjwala
end,
is my wife.
yeah, I know. Hello, Ujjwala. How are you? Okay, she cannot
She's
speak right.
muted.
Yes,
She
yes,
wants-
yes. All right, so we'll take a pic. Up to you. Please escape the camera well, and we'll take a pic right now. So on the count of three, one, two, and three. Okay, so pic is taken, and I'm putting up into the chat screen. Please feel free to download it and use it as well. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much everyone for taking out time on a Saturday and coming. I can understand sometimes, yes, we have been very fortunate to see a very big strength of our participants here today. I think everybody has gone into a sleeping mode. Everybody is into the holiday mode. So I can probably only imagine that even in the upcoming session, one or two sessions, that is how it is going to be. But I'm happy that some people have taken it as a regime that come what may, we will always come on Saturday 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for the show. So thank you so much for taking out time from your
Yes.
session as well, Aditya.
Yes.
And
Thank you so
to
much.
all the other
Happy to
participants,
be here.
please be aware that every Saturday we hold this session 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you are not aware of it, I mean, if you have not been following us regularly, please follow us from the website links which I have posted into the chat screen. Add my number. I always update it as a status. I always send across in the community as well. Join our community as well. Okay. Thank you so much, Aditya, for your valuable
Yes.
insights, for taking our
Thank you
time
so
for
much.
this
Pleasure's all
welcome
mine. Thank you
conversation.
so much.
Thank you so much to the participants who have
Yes.
also given the welcome note and the vote of thanks and have made an interactive session.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. Closing for the day. Meet you on next Saturday.